50-year mortgages, assumable loans, portable mortgages. If you've seen or heard any of this on the news or on TikTok and thought, okay, is this actually coming to Texas? And is it good for me as a buyer? That's what we're talking about today. Hey friends, I'm Ann Hamilton, a realtor here in the greater Houston area. I help buyers and sellers in Fort Bend County in places like Katy, Richmond, Fulshear, and beyond. Today I want to break down the 50-year mortgage and talk about portable mortgages, what it really means, what the math looks like, and how it could impact buyers here in the Houston area if it ever actually happens. So here's the quick backdrop. The Trump administration has floated the idea of allowing 50-year mortgages as a means to help with the affordability crisis for home buyers. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has confirmed that they're evaluating the concept, but details are still pretty sparse for now. Right now in the United States, the standard normal mortgage is a 30-year fixed rate term. And under current rules, that's also the longest term that's allowed as a typical qualifying loan. Anything like a 40-year or a 50-year term would require rule changes and would likely be treated differently by lenders and investors. So just to be super clear, the 50-year mortgage is not something you can currently call up your lender here in Texas and say, I want to try it out. This is still a proposal, not an option on the menu. So why are we even talking about 50-year mortgages? The whole point is affordability. We all know that home prices and high rates have made things really tough for a lot of buyers. Mortgage rates have come down from the crazy 8% that we saw, but they're still hanging out in about the mid-6s as of early December 2025. If we stretch the loan from 30 years out to 50 years, we can lower the monthly payments and help more people qualify. And yes, on the surface, that part is true. When you stretch out the payments over a longer period of time, the monthly number comes down. So let's look at a very simple example with some simple math just to get the concept, not a quote. Imagine a $400,000 home here in Houston. If you put 10% down, that's a $360,000 loan that you're taking out. If we look at both a 30-year and a 50-year loan, that we're assuming had the same exact interest rate, let's just say around the mid-6s for easy math, analysts estimate that a 50-year loan might only lower that monthly payment by $200 to $250 compared to that 30-year loan. So yes, you'd probably feel that in your monthly budget. That's a real savings. Side note here, if you want to look at real numbers with your specific situation, send me a DM and I want to connect you with a really great local lender here to talk some real numbers for your situation. So let's go back to our hypothetical example. Saving $200 to $250 a month sounds great, right? Here's where things get a little less cute. So because you're paying that loan for an extra 20 years, the total interest that you're going to pay over the life of the loan can become enormous. Using that same kind of example, economists estimate that a 50-year mortgage would end up costing almost double in interest what a 30-year mortgage would cost, especially if the 50-year mortgage has a higher interest rate, which longer-term loans do tend to have higher interest rates. So we can assume that it probably would. So you might be saving $200 to $250 a month, but over time, you're paying hundreds of thousands more in interest. And because your payment is stretched out longer, you're going to be building equity very slowly. So for a long time, a huge chunk of your monthly payment is going to all be going to interest, not principal. So if you're hoping to refinance, sell, or tap into equity in the first 5 to 10 years of owning that home, you might not have as much as you expect. There's another big concern that economists have around this topic right now. If you make it easier for more buyers to jump into the market by lowering monthly payments, but you don't build more homes, you risk pushing home prices even higher because you've just added more demand without adding more supply. So while the idea is to help with affordability, it could actually cancel itself out quickly if prices rise faster because even more people are bidding on those same homes. That's part of why a lot of housing experts think this isn't the solution to the current affordability crisis. All right, so what about portable mortgages? Alongside the 50-year mortgage idea, there has been some talk about portable mortgages. A portable mortgage is basically where you can take your loan with you when you move. So you take your existing mortgage, same interest rate, same loan, and just attach it to your new property. This is actually more common in places like Canada and the UK, but currently not here in the United States. But in reality, it's very messy, and here's why. Our most common loan right now in the United States is a 30-year loan. So that theoretically loan could last you your entire adult lifetime. Lenders and investors make money when loans are paid off, sold, or refinanced. So if everyone kept one mortgage over their entire lifetime and just ported it from house to house, that would completely change how the United States mortgage system works. So even if something like portable mortgages is allowed here in the United States, it's most certainly going to come with some big strings attached. Things like higher rates, high fees, very narrow qualifying terms. All right, so what do we actually do with this information if we're looking to buy a house here in Fort Bend County or the greater Houston area? Here's a few key takeaways. Number one, the 50-year mortgage is not here yet. It's just a proposal, not a product. Don't put your home search on pause waiting for something that might never happen. Number two, there are already some tools that we have today to help with affordability. Here's things that I'm seeing in our current market. Number one, seller credits. A lot of times right now we can negotiate a seller credit at closing, and you can use that credit to help with your closing costs, or more importantly, for a rate buy down to help make your rate lower and that monthly payment more affordable. Number two, builder incentives for new construction. I'm seeing a lot of amazing builder incentives right now in communities like Richmond, Katy, and Fulshear. Builders, if you use their in-house lender, are offering some really fabulous rate buy downs, lower interest rates, and even seller concessions that you can use to help towards a further rate buy down or closing costs. Also, three, there's assumable loans on VA and FHA loans. Now, you have to qualify for these, and they are somewhat limited and few and far in between, but you can find listings out there today. And if you are someone who could qualify to assume an existing FHA or VA loan, you could end up getting a rate that is much lower than the current market interest rate. So in summary, the best plan of action is still a very personalized plan. For some people, a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with a seller paid buy down is what's right for you. For other people, and for your situation, we might look at shorter term loans like a 15-year loan or a 20-year loan, or an adjustable rate mortgage might make sense for your particular situation. Stretching to 50 years might lower your monthly payment, but it might not line up with your overall plans for your financial future and for your real estate future. Most people don't stay in the same home with the same loan for 50 years. So, would a 50-year loan help Houston area buyers or just create more problems? Let me know in the comments. Would you actually consider a 50-year loan if it meant lower payments, but it came with a lot more interest payments? If you're thinking about buying here in Fort Bend County or the greater Houston area, and you want to talk through what your payment options might look like in reality, not just some hypothetical, I'd love to hop on a call with you and make a personalized plan of action for your needs. Once again, I'm Ann Hamilton, your local Fort Bend County realtor. Please like and subscribe to this channel so you can get more of my buyer tips, seller tips, and highlights around the Fort Bend County and greater Houston area.